My name is Kim, and welcome everybody, and thank you for coming. And I look forward to sharing this presentation with everybody.
Yes, so we'll start here on mindfulness techniques to overcome test and presentation anxiety. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background, especially during right now, this pandemic era that we're living through. There's a lot of anxiety out there, and so we just wanted to bring this to you virtually. I've been doing this with my classes, face-to-face classes, right before an exam, and it's a way to help students relax, calm down, because our brains are going all over the place, and our stress really can deter us from learning something new. And so we're bringing this to you. So thank you for being here with us on a Friday afternoon. So let's get started. I believe the outline of this whole presentation, Dr. Kim Diaz will talk about a little bit give us some background on the importance of doing this and who else has been doing this, some familiar faces. And then I'll come back and do a breathing, vision, and a short mantra with all of you. And so make sure you're relaxed and find a seating area to enjoy this presentation. Thank you. Go ahead, Dr. Kim.
Okay, I hope everybody can see me and hear me. Hi, Ivan. Where do you sign in? You know what? Let me see. Maybe we can. There is Yeah, no, that's great. Let me see. Let me type it in real quick, okay? I think, okay, I'm not sure if this one is for a sign-in or for the Tejano passport, but there's a link that was provided to us. Okay, so I'm going to start by talking about, you probably already know this, right? So I'm just going to give you a really quick overview. Okay, thank you, Ms. Sanchez. Great. So yeah, as you all know, we have the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, and so what we want is both of them to be working balanced in a balanced way. The sympathetic nervous system is also known as the fight, flight, or freeze, and this is what gets activated before a test, right? Or before a presentation like what we're having right now, right? Or before a difficult conversation. And it's a survival mechanism. It's very important that it works and that it works. It actually overrides our cognitive abilities, right? Because back in the day when we had to run away from saber-toothed tigers, the people who ran away, who didn't think about it and just took off, were the ones that survived. So there's no time to think, what should I do, right? Because you got to get out of the way real quick. And so, yeah, so basically what happens is our system, our body gets a rush of adrenaline or a rush of cortisol because we need to respond. And the parasympathetic nervous system, which is also known as the rest and digest, it kind of takes a back burner, right? And that is, so your immune system, your digestive system, your reproductive system just kind of like take a back seat while you need to climb up for up a tree or something, right? To escape the saber tooth or to do well on your presentation, whatever it is. The problem with this is that, and it's really interesting, right? Because like physiologically, we humans and animals too, you might have noticed maybe your puppy, when your puppy gets really excited, they pee. I don't know if you've experienced that. But yeah, you know, we humans too, under a lot of stress, we may defecate or urinate because, so this is just like your body does these things. But so it's important that it works, but what we want is balance, because when the sympathetic nervous system is triggered because of a threat, it's important for us to know the difference between a real threat and a perceived threat, because it just does it anyway. And so one way, let me switch screens, yeah. One way for us to, if flip the switch, if you will, is to change how we're breathing. Because if we have all this adrenaline that kicks in, that anxiety actually gets in the way of us performing well. And so on one hand, we want it to work. We want the sympathetic nervous system to work. But on the other hand, we want to be able to self-regulate it so that it doesn't get in the way of us performing well in our presentation or our test. So it's really cool, because if you change how you're breathing, you can change how you are feeling. And I'm sure you've heard people tell you, you've heard people tell each other, take a deep breath, and it really does work. So by changing how we're breathing, we change how we're feeling. And you see here, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, right? Just taking a breath. If like the NBA isn't happening at this very minute, but I noticed, like, before the players, do their free throw, they always generally, you can see them inhale and exhale to relax themselves so that they can be more focused. So Phil Jackson, in case you're interested in this, look up Phil Jackson. He was the coach for a number of teams, but he incorporated mindfulness in their training for the basketball players to help them stay focused, not get the nervousness get the best of them. So they're training not only their body, but they're also training their minds. And then in terms of mantras, you have here Muhammad Ali, who made a lot of use of you working with mantras. He used to always tell himself, "I'm the greatest." That was one of his mantras. And another one that he would say is, and he would always just come up with this really cool, playful ways of rhyming mantras that he would repeat over and over to get himself pumped. So what he would do is he would use mantras and visualization. Um, he would visualize the referee raising his arms, and so he would kind of like feel the feeling of his arms being raised by the ref, and then the audience, the crowd, the noise, hear all those, visualize and feel what it felt like to be the winner. I like this one. He would say, "I injured a rock, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick." Was his whole mantra. So yeah, so knowing how to breathe, knowing how to visualize, and then the use of mantras in combination have been used by professional athletes to give them an edge. So then it's not just the training physically, but again, training your mind and training everything in you so that you can perform your best. So that's the essence, that's basically what we're trying to share here with you today. How to access these other aspects of that you can have access to, your breathing, how you are seeing yourself, and the things you tell yourself to do even better. Assuming you have studied, assuming you have minimally, obviously this is not magic, so you have, if you've been studying, but then you do these other things, you will perform better. I'll pass it over to Ms. Aguirre.
Thank you, Dr. Diaz. Can you hear me? Great. So just a raise of hands, because I just want to know how many of you are taking finals in the next couple of days. So on the bottom, you have like a raise hand. How many of you are taking finals? Awesome. That's true. So we have a lot of stress, right? Salia, Mariana, Teresa, you're all taking finals, and there's more than one. So there's a lot of anxiety around that. So let's practice this. Let's practice this three-step. Let's practice this three-step process. And again, I mentioned to you, I have done this with my face-to-face classes, especially before their first exam, because we have exams for everything, but outline a breathing exercise, and I'm going to show everyone here today also how to breathe, because I know we're breathing. I mean, obviously we're walking around, but we don't even realize that sometimes we're hyperventilating or not breathing enough oxygen, or not, our posture's not correct. So we're going to do a breathing exercise, and then together we're going to do a vision exercise so you can do well on your exams. And again, this is assuming that everyone has studied and will be studying for their final exams. So this only works if you put in the time as well to study, okay? And then finally, we'll end with the mantra that I have done with my students. So let's start with the breathing exercise. Idali, did you have a question? Or you want to lower your hand if you don't? Idali Flores? Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, so this breathing exercises, we're going to learn how to breathe. So in this moment, if you could pay attention to your body. So make sure you have a good posture. Your back is straight. Maybe you're leaning up against the back of a seat, or you're laying down completely. Whatever it is, make sure you have a complete, your spine is completely straight and your head is above the horizontal line. So a lot of students, a lot of people actually dedicate their time now looking down at our phones, right? And so that restricts oxygen into our brain, and that's where we have cases of blanking out. Do you remember going into the exam, you studied all night or you studied all week, and then you get there and boom, like, I don't know what happened, I just blanked out. And so that's because there's not enough oxygen going into your brain. So for that reason, let's try this breathing exercises. So really you breathe in through your nose, a deep inhale with the posture straight and your head above the horizontal line. And if you want to place a hand over your belly, really stretch that belly out as you breathe in. Hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale through your mouth. And pull those shoulders down. It even gives you some tickles around your shoulder and neck area if you have so much tension. So let's try that again. Hold that hand into your belly. Breathe in through your nose. Hold it. And exhale through the mouth. And bring those shoulders down. So let's try that for a good 2 minutes. And I am just going to place a timer. So it's gonna be a little bit quiet. I didn't have the music here in the background, I'm sorry. So everyone at this time, get to a good posture in a sitting position if possible. Close your eyes and just breathe for the next 2 minutes. That's all you're gonna do, just breathe. Just get all that tension out of that neck, okay? So I'm gonna start the timer. Go ahead and start now. Take long, deep inhales through your nose. And drop those shoulders as you exhale. Feel your neck growing. Your shoulders are separating from your head. You have all those shoulders up here, closer to your ears. One more deep breath. Okay, great. Now go ahead and open your eyes. All right, so let me stop here and ask for, how did you feel? If you want to turn on your mics and give us some feedback, those of you that tried this. Or if you want to put it on the chat box, just tell us how you felt with this breathing exercise. Calm, thank you. Relaxed, more relaxed. Fantastic. Anyone else? Relief. Was your mind wandering? I know sometimes this focuses our mind to the breathing, and that's okay, Abdil, to have a wandering mind. But Mariana says her mind was at ease, so when you focus on just the breathing, you'll end up, forgetting that there's so many problems, issues out there, and you focus on the breathing. So fantastic. So practice this, especially before a big presentation or before an exam that's timed, or you have to complete in a certain way. Find yourself with your shoulders up here. If you find that, just go ahead and take a deep breath and bring those shoulders down. Okay, reduce that tension. Great. So now let's try setting yourself free of stress. Thank you, Teresa. So now let's try the second part of this. Let's try the vision. Okay, so like Dr. Diaz mentioned, a lot of athletes do this technique because they want to plan and really see their future. And we sometimes can project, positive thoughts or negative thoughts, but what we're projecting is usually what we end up seeing and believing, and doing at the end. And so let's try this vision exercise together. We're going to do take 3 deep breaths, okay? But let me outline this before we try it. You're going to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. But when you're doing this, I want you to have your eyes closed and really vision yourself, have a vision of yourself taking that exam that you studied for over the weekend. So if you're studying for an exam, really picture yourself taking that exam either through the Blackboard platform or physically writing down the notes or typing in the English paper. So really have a vision of yourself doing that and having a successful outcome. And so I want you to take particular attention to your feelings. Okay, what are you feeling? What thoughts come into mind? So let's practice this together. Okay, this is the only slide I created for this, I believe. Yes. So let's practice this together. So I would like everyone that's going to be taking a final exam pretty soon to just close your eyes one more time. Take 3 full breaths. So in through your nose, out through your mouth. Relax those shoulders. 2 more times. In through your nose, out through your mouth. And then one last time. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Keep your eyes closed. Now picture yourself taking the exam. Picture yourself taking the exam. Observe your feelings. Keep breathing regularly. Now you studied for the test. You did fantastic on the review. So now you're taking that exam. I'm so proud of you. You took all that time to stop by the office hours. You asked all your questions. You are ready for this. Really observe your feelings. Okay, one last deep breath. Fantastic. Okay, so open up your eyes. Now you can turn on your mic on the bottom or use the chat box. But tell us, what feelings did you observe while you were going through this activity? Successful, accomplished. And if this is the first time we're trying this, it might be a little awkward, like what if sometimes it gives us more stress to think about the exam, but that's perfectly normal. Frustration, relaxation, excited and proud, very good. That's true. Anyone else? I felt a little bit nervous since I've always struggled with math, correct? And that's a big one, Idali. There's a lot of students that come in with a lot of anxiety from, maybe their third grade teacher, and, they've been stressed about math ever since. So this is a way to kind of go back to, let's start from scratch, and let's on a blank slate, and let's clear our mind of test anxiety or anxiety for math or any subject altogether. And so it's great to observe these feelings and be aware of them. So let's learn about a short mantra that you could use for the test. And I encourage the students to write these down. But I'm going to go over them with everybody with your eyes closed, and then I'll come back and review the slides so you can write them down. And it's 3 short phrases, 3 short sentences that you could repeat to yourself, like Muhammad Ali did. He repeated those until you start believing them, right? So Ali, I know you feel nervous and you struggled with math. We can change a mantra to maybe say, I am going to do great on the next exam and I will not struggle with math again. And so those are the type of mantra or phrases that you can create for yourself, that you can repeat to them. You can put a post-it in the mirror on, before you, where you brush your teeth, and just repeat it to yourself enough times until you believe it. So let's try this short mantra. And so this is also done. Again, I have done this before the first exam with the students. For the online courses, I recorded something similar and I posted the video before each exam in the online courses. So this is a mantra that is from a textbook by Dr. Jose Baltazar, and the book is called Accelerative Learning Companion for College Students. And I'll share the resource there at the end. So let's go through this mantra together, okay? All right, so I would like, before we start with the mantra, I would like for everyone to close your eyes again. Let's get in, the anti-anxiety mode. So let's everyone close your eyes and just follow my instructions through voice. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and relax those shoulders. 2 more times. Take a deep breath. Exhale. 1 more, last time. Exhale. Okay, still with your eyes closed, just repeat to yourself, loud and clear, wherever you are, with your head up high. I am fully prepared for this test. Go ahead and repeat it to yourself. I am fully prepared for this test. I am fully prepared for this test. Okay, that's positive affirmation number 1. Now let's do positive affirmation number 2. Repeat after me. I remember the information for it. I remember the information for it. I remember the information for it. Great. Last positive affirmation. I am confident and sure of myself. I am confident and sure of myself. I am confident and sure of myself. Okay, take 3 more deep breaths. Okay, great. So now you can open up your eyes. So how many of you felt silly doing this? Raise your hands, because that was me the first time I did this. So how many of you felt silly doing this? Like, oh, I'm repeating some weird phrases. Yes, thank you for your honesty. All right, so what did you? Awesome, yes, very silly. So the first time we try this, I get the students that, don't close their eyes. They have them, wide open, and then they have their hands crossed, like, I'm not going to do this. And it's perfectly normal. It's perfectly okay. But they sometimes say the phrases and they giggle, and sometimes say the phrases, but their heads are still really low. So it really takes some practice to really believe it, right? When you've done something, you've practiced, you've done that, like shooting a free throw, like Dr. Kim Diaz said, if you practice enough times, you're up there at the line, you're ready, you take that last deep breath to relax, and you are confident to really say, I'm gonna make this free throw. So this is the goal of the repeating these mantras, is to prepare you for those exams and really having you believe in those 3 phrases. And so let me go back. If you want to get a piece of paper and pencil or pen, and you can write these 3 sentences. They're the same 3 sentences. So the 3 sentences, let me start with the first one. The 3 sentences are, I am fully prepared for this test. And you just repeat that 3 times. So let me give you a few seconds to write that down. The next one is, I remember the information for it. Please let me know if I went too fast and you didn't have enough time to write it down. I can go back. And the last one is, I am confident and sure of myself. And you just repeat that 3 times. Awesome. So aside from trying this, can anyone think of, if you want to type it in the chat box, can anyone think of any other positive affirmations that you can say to yourself right before taking the final exam? What would be a positive mantra or positive affirmation you can say to yourself to believe that you're going to do well on these final exams? You can turn on your mics or put it on the chat box. Are we too relaxed? Okay. I have studied for this. I am ready to take the test. Thank you, Abdul. That's a great one. Awesome. I have studied for this and I am ready to take the test. Awesome. Do you want to turn on your mic and practice that with us? I don't want, if you don't feel comfortable, that's okay, but you can turn on your mic and say it with confidence. Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. But that's a great one. I have studied for this and I am ready to take the test. Awesome. Anyone else? Okay. All right, so I've done that breathing vision mantra exercise. Usually the last 5 to 10 minutes right before they take their exam. So for example, if I teach a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class and we met on Monday, Wednesday, and their exam was on Friday, then I would do this exercise in my class right at the end of class on Wednesday, so they can take this home practice, and then on Friday they would be ready for the test. And so I've done this for the face-to-face classes, and again for the online, I've recorded a video that I posted there on Blackboard for the students to use, and we'll be happy to share this PowerPoint with all of you. So this is the resource that I mentioned to you. It's a short textbook, and Dr. Jose Baltazar was a counselor at Valle Verde for many, many years. I believe he retired already, but this was a small book he published, and it's called the Accelerative Learning Companion for College Students. And in there is a struggling student in mathematics, and this student goes and talks with this counselor, and so the dialogue between the student and him, and all the mind-body techniques like what we just finished doing, the vision, the breathing, the mantra, he talks about those there. So that's where I've got those exercises from, and I've been doing that with my students for a couple of years already. So if you're interested in this, the EPCC library has these textbooks. They have them available at, I know specifically at Mission del Paso, last time I checked, there were 5 of these copies there. But you can find them online. You can download them electronically as well, through your Kindle for a small price. So this is the book. I guarantee, I'm sorry, I had a student, let me tell you about this. I had a student that would come to my office and would start a sentence with, Ms. Aguirre, I'm just not good in math. I'm not good. I've never been good at math. And so they're there struggling, and their heads are really low. Like he was always slouching, and just like his confidence in his body was, the confidence was displayed in his body. And so I told him, you know what, I have this great book for you to read. And so he took this out and he read it. He checked it out from the library, and he came back, and it was like a total 180. I didn't even recognize this person. His posture was up high, and he's like, I'm ready. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm ready to try this, and can you show me how to do this? And he was full of energy, and it was a total 180 from before reading the textbook. So if you're not feeling confident about taking an exam or doing well in your exams, check out this book, and it's a very short read, so you'll get a lot out of it. So hopefully it'll help you with your test anxiety. Okay, so I'll open up the floor. Are there any questions? Awesome. Kim says, I thought of a mantra. I shine my brightest as I ace my test. Nice. Beautiful. Just a raise of hands. Was someone going to speak? I'm sorry. So just a raise of hands. Is anyone going to try one of those? The breathing, the vision, or the mantra? Just a raise of hands. Anyone want to try that before finals, or will be trying that? Awesome. Yeah, give us your feedback if it worked, if it, what feelings went through your mind, and we're here if you want to let us know. Awesome.
Well, thank you so much. And I'd like to thank both Ms. Edith Aguirre and Dr. Diaz for the presentation and providing us with these techniques and strategies. Really appreciate you taking your time to do that. And I'd also like to thank all of you guys for coming and supporting the Tejano virtual events this semester. And I'm going to put the link in the chat box, and this is going to be for the Tejano virtual events. What these points will do for you is you can earn a medallion for attending all these workshops that we've been offering, as well as other ones that are offered through the college. I'm going to go ahead and share that file with you for the Tejano Passport Program. And there it is right there. There's the website that you can go to learn more about it. And this is our actual last event for this semester, but we will be starting up again on January 27th. So keep an eye out on that flyer to be coming out to you. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I wish you guys the best on your finals, and I hope you have a safe and restful holiday. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you.